How's it going, guys? I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a walkthrough on how to set up Feather Wallet, which I think is one of the most probably easiest and user-friendly wallets that you can get that isn't the Monero GUI wallet that you get directly from getmonero.org. Essentially, if you're using Tails, this is probably your best option in terms of OPSEC, and it has a really nice set of features for power users. They have a ClearNet site, they have an Onion site, and then they have an I2P site or an EAP site. So tons of options. I am currently running this on a virtual machine on Ubuntu, the latest Ubuntu version, which is, I don't know. I don't use Ubuntu, so whatever the latest Ubuntu version is. And I do use this in Tor in my Tails OS install. So not only from experience, but from user experience, I think Feather Wallet is a great option. I am currently running this also in Tor, on the Tor browser, in the safest mode. So if you want the extreme OPSEC option, it does work. So we're going to go to the download page. It does use app image, but you do have a few other options. So if you do Linux, it is a standalone executable, or you can do an app image if you need so. They have Tails, Flatpak. I have not tested this. I have not tested this on Windows. I would not use this on Windows. Mac OS, and then you can build it from source. So you're just going to download this. Press OK. Save. And then wait for it to download. And while it's doing that, I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back. So after you download it, you're going to put it in a folder, you're going to execute it, and then this is going to pop up. This is very easy. So how do you want to connect to the Monero network? You can select a node manually, or you can auto connect. However, if you want to run your own node or prefer to configure it manually, free to do so. I would recommend setting up your own node. That is slightly out of scope of this video. I just want to appeal to the average user that just wants to set up a wallet. Now, after you learn how to set up a wallet, I would highly encourage you to set up your own Monero node and then run this on your local area network, and that's how you should interact. There is plenty of good documentation how to set up a Monero node. I would check out Seth for Privacy. He has a really good step-through option where you can set up your own Monero node. There's even a way you can set up a Monero node with Umbrel. Maybe if there's some interest in that, I will show you how to set that up. It's not even really a setup, but how to connect it to your local wallet and how to send some Monero to it. By default, Feather routes most traffic over Tor. An expectation is made for the internal wallet synchronization after opening the wallet. Synchronization requires a lot of data transfer and therefore is very slow over Tor. Connections to local nodes are never routed over Tor. So this is something that you should, again, understand. If you want to be able to do it over Tor, and OPSEC is very, very important, you then should do this if you want to stay super, super private. Is it required? No. You can do it over Tor, you can do it over I2P, you can do it over SOCKS 5. If you want, again, this is out of scope because it will take a long time. I would say do the default settings, but if you have time, I would definitely recommend doing everything over Tor as much as possible. This is why Tails is great. Tails forces everything over Tor. I don't notice a substantial difference when I use Feather Wallet anywhere else. The syncing does take quite some time, especially if I haven't loaded it in a long time and the blockchain has gotten bigger. But mostly it's not that hard. Feather can connect to services hosted by the developers to obtain pricing information, curate lists of remote nodes, home feeds, the largest version of Feather Wallet, and more. The service is only used to fetch information. The wallet does not send information about the state of the users for transactions to the server. It is not used for any telemetry or crash reports. If you disable this connection, some wallet function will be unavailable. You can re-enable it at a time. I would just keep it enabled by default. We're going to create a new wallet. You can restore from Cs, keys, and hardware device. So we're going to hit next. Obviously, this isn't, it doesn't matter if you guys see this. But the 16 words can be used to recover your access to your wallet. Write them down. Do not write them down and put them on the internet. Do not write them down and put them anywhere on your computer. Do not put them anywhere that has internet access, because this is a fundamental flaw. If it has access to the internet, and say you put it even in a quote-unquote encrypted vault, and that encrypted vault is somehow a weak password, and it gets cracked or it has a vulnerability, you essentially just lost all your money. Because if somebody has the seeds, then they fundamentally can restore your wallet at any time. So do not do what I'm about to do. Copy it. I'm going to copy it. Never disclose your seeds. Never type it on a website. Store it safely offline. Do not lose your seeds. I understand. So you're going to call it a wallet. I can call it wallet fed. For the haha funnies, the directory could be home, AI, Monero, wallet, whatever directory that you want to put it in. Make a strong password so that you have to type it in every time. It encrypts your wallet keys. And there we go. So it's syncing. And again, Monero Wallet has a lot of really good features. It is synchronized. Now, you can node proxy offline, disable all network connections offline mode, proxy node. So this is connecting it to Tor nodes, because those are definitely Tor addresses. And then right here, proxy, it is automatically using Tor. I can change it to none. Switch to Tor after synchronization. You could then switch this node traffic always over Tor, and it will connect to a node. There we go. Synchronized. It is always going to be synchronized over Tor. It is always going to be done over Tor. Now, if you keep up this open as long as possible, it will always stay synchronized, so that the syncing over Tor won't be as slow as possible. But in the beginning, it is kind of resource intensive if it depends where the blockchain got caught. Then you have your bounties. This is really cool. So if you want to see Monero bounties that are baked into, like, pretty much into this, I2P baked into the Monero GUI. It started, it's open, it started, it's open, and it goes on. And it tells you pretty much like what kind of stuff, like what kind of bounties are out to, hey, do you want to do this? If you're a developer, if you are interested in the Monero ecosystem, you're more than welcome to go over and start contributing. Crowdfunding, these is proposals that they want to get active. And then this is revenue. It's like a newsletter. So it kind of tells you like Florian Furman point release has been targeted. Like, you know, Unstoppable Swap, more like decides to, like, Unstoppable Ergine wallet moving forward. Unstoppable Swap decides to, with a GUI beta release, rebrand to whatever the fuck that is, Monero plus BTC wallet with atomic swaps, multiplayer supported Greece, and then Shiny XMR LT planned. So, and then Cake, etc., etc. So it has like a lot of really good features. Then you have your tools, sign verified messages, verified transaction proofs, offline transaction signing, which is, I mean, that's out of scope, but it is interesting. There's a way you can have a cold wallet where it's not connected to the internet. Cake wallet has a way to do this. You have a spare device. You can put Cupcake on there and essentially have a cold storage wallet that is much more secure. Mine is it's private regardless, but it's much more secure. And then you have your account, your password, your seed, your keys, your view only, and then your files, and then other tools, and then help, and then check for updates. So if like there's any updates needed, you just update it. They have a calculator. If you're tired of going to the internet, say you have one Monero, it configures it for you, which is kind of nice. This is one of my favorite parts of it as well, is it has multiple addresses for different, and then you can create a new one, create a new one, create a new one, keep creating new ones. Say you want to create 30 addresses. These are all going to be unique in their own way. So they're going to be all unique, all going to be changing. So like if you want to constantly switch between your addresses, you're more than welcome to. And you can create a payment system amount, description, if you want to put that, QR code, and then just send it. You can copy the link, copy the image, and then just send it to someone. Say, hey, here, send me this Monero. It's really awesome. It's a very easy to understand wallet. Not hard. All you have to do is pretty much download, install, run, synchronize, run, synchronize, and then make sure that you keep your seed phrase privately. I would say the best thing is to write it down, put it on a vault. If you have an offline computer, you can put it on a flash drive and then store it digitally, but encrypt the flash drive obviously with something like Veracrypt or PicoCrypt, and then make a couple copies of it and put it in a safe, preferably. And then if you can, take the seed phrase, laminate it, throw it into another safe. You know, if you have the options of what do you call it, with the safety deposit boxes through your local bank, obviously if you just put it on an encrypted drive, they're not going to be able to open it. That would be my best guess, because it's then in a safe place, separate in separate locations. Or if you have a best friend, throw it to them across the country, put it on a flash drive, tell them to put it in a safe, pay them some money every year or something to hold it to make sure it's safe, and then move on. But don't tell them that you have your sweet $200,000 Monero tokens in there. That is pretty much the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Argue in the comments for the algorithm. And if you like my content, subscribe and share.